Well, it's interesting you asked this question. Currently, we are observing a couple of major challenges across the conversations that we have with banks in Asia. The first one being the effective use of technology. What we are observing is, we have come past that situation where banks didn't have an infrastructure in place. With the rising complexities, we all know, we have heard a lot today in the presentations that complexities are rising. Banks do have infrastructures in place. They have put investments in technology in place. However, there's lots of silos, and that results in ineffective use of technology. Banks don't have a single view of risk on their customers, which results in banks throwing lots and lots of bodies on the ground to look at the alerts. The actual ideal scenario for banks would be when they get a single view of risk on their customers across all sorts of risk. And that would mean effective use of technology and maintaining efficiency. What I mean by that is also ensuring there's not lots and lots of false positives. So, in summary, effective use of technology is the number one challenge that the banks are facing at the moment. And the other one is around trade compliance. Now again, the complexities around international trades have been on the high, and they're extremely high at the moment. So, whether it's around the dual-use goods, whether it's around vessels, whether it's around international acceptance of different types of currencies, banks are in a situation where monitoring of those trade transactions is very, very challenging. As a data and technology company, our mission is to make sure that, number one, we're able to provide a single view of all sorts of risk on a customer to the bank, so that their spend on technology makes sense, and as a result, they're not throwing more and more bodies on the ground, rather making effective use of the technology. And the other one is around trade compliance. Within trade compliance, we want to make sure that banks have a holistic view on their trade transaction throughout the life cycle of the trade, whether it's around the exporter or the importer, what kind of vessels involved, where the vessel is coming from, where it's going. That journey of a trade transaction from inception to the end, banks should have a very strong view on that transaction, and they should be able to identify all sorts of risk.